Welcome to the Selling Show, where we unpack, repack, and break down exactly how CEOs, founders, and senior executives sell their ideas, point of view, and personal brand to the people who matter most. This is your host, David Newman, and you are in the right place if you want to build market eminence, amplify your influence, and attract high-value prospects, investors, partners, talent, and media opportunities with less chasing and more confidence. Let's go.
I always just start recording because I never know what good stuff I'm going to get prepping, right?
Well, and this is why we just jump in right into the middle.
Okay,
We're just going to start right here, right now. You and I are having coffee. We're recording this in the AM part of the day for both of us. If it was the PM part of the day, it could be wine, it could be bourbon. We don't know what the heck it could be. But anyway, for folks listening, if you're wondering what the hell is going on, I'm talking to my friend Gayle Kalvert.
Yes.
Gayle, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here, David. I'm really excited for this conversation. And I've been told I'm allowed to curse, so that's
you can drop all the bombs, the F bombs, the S bombs, the T bombs, the J bombs. How come there's no curse words that start with J? I want to find the answer to this. I don't know.
That's a good question. I don't know any.
God damn it. How about that?
I'll come up with one for you next time.
Well, Gayle, for the few people on the planet who do not know, could you please jump in with just a very quick summary of your professional journey that brought you to the work that you're doing today?
Sure, absolutely. For those couple of people that don't know yet, I started my career in corporate. I spent more than 20 years in sales and marketing leadership positions in the software and professional services industry. Loved it, climbed the corporate ladder, had the goal of being a C-level something or other, right? And in 2016, I was laid off, which wasn't as trendy as it is now. I mean, I love that everybody now is like, open to work, been laid off, that's amazing, right? It happens to everyone. So let's just be honest, right? And that's okay.
It's great.
Because as we often hear, sometimes the layoff can be the greatest thing that happened to you, even if you don't know it at the time. So following that, I decided to go out on my own. Instead of going and doing the same gig at another software company and grinding for somebody else, I thought, let me see if I can make something of my own. I had been thinking about it for a long time. So I completely flipped sides, if you will, and started as a B2B freelance copywriter. No frills. That's it. No agency, just me and my laptop. Because honestly, in my career, I had been saved by amazing copywriters and marketers that helped me along in my career. So I thought, there is truly a gap in the market here. And that for me was sort of the best entry point to start small and grow from there. So super quick, I grew that business from a sole freelancer into what became a copywriting agency. And I know that sounds insane right now because AI, right? Who wants to hire a copywriter when you can use ChatGPT? We'll talk about how shitty of an idea that is later. But anyway, it was good. It was before AI. But also I knew that there was a lot more that we could be doing for our clients than just providing copy. So I am the founder and CEO of what is Creo Collective, a full-service marketing agency focused exclusively on B2B marketing in the technology sector. So full service is a tricky description, right, David? How can anyone or any company be full service marketing? I think marketing continues to expand and expand and expand and expand, and we're all learning something new every single day. But the best way to think about my agency is that we customize teams with the marketing experience that each client needs to fill the gaps, whether that's knowledge gaps, talent gaps, right? To develop strategy and execute their marketing programs. And then just about a month or two ago, I also became a podcast host like you. So I'm learning, David. I'm going to learn from you, the expert. I am brand new to the podcasting game, but it is the highlight of my day. The people, conversations, the people I meet, the conversations I have truly inspire and push me further and further to do more, because I can't get over how much talent there is out there, David, truly.
Really, you like this? Because I hate doing these.
You do not.
These are
You are
awful.
lying.
This is the worst part of my
You
day,
seem
Gayle.
miserable. Yes, I can tell. You seem totally. I mean, what's bad about this, right? You get together with interesting people and you're learning. I fucking love it.
There you go. Well, there goes our E rating for this episode.
You're
friends.
welcome.
Oh my God. So there's so much to dig in there. This is fantastic. I think your new book, I don't care if there's an old book, but your new book is called Layoff to Blast Off, the Gayle Kalvert Formula for Career Success. What do you think? Layoff to Blast Off?
There's a lot of like razzle dazzle in there, David.
I know.
That's how I describe you to a friend. I said, this David Newman, he's got so much razzle dazzle. I love it. The energy. Yes.
Shiny, sparkly, crazy stuff.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about something that you said on your show, and I think you say this probably on multiple occasions throughout your nascent podcasting career.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned that you came to entrepreneurship late, that you didn't start your own adventure entrepreneurially until the age of 44. Is that right?
You're doing great math. I barely know how old I am.
So, because this totally makes me nuts, right? You see all these like bro marketers and bro scalers, and they're 24 years old, and they have zero marketing experience, sales experience, business experience, but they watched a couple Hormozi videos or they watched a couple Vaynerchuk videos, and now they're bro marketers, and they have their Facebook ads, and they have their auto webinars, and they have their AI copywriting landing pages. What do you think coming into an entrepreneurial environment? Because I started when I was 38 and I thought I was old, going in. But starting at 44, that's just totally awesome. What are some advantages of coming in at that mature in a business sense, right? Having had the experience, having had the corporate war stories, battle scars, etc.
Yeah, I love that question because I am so passionate about that. I mentioned, right, that my goal coming out of college was to climb the corporate ladder and become a C something.
Yeah.
And David, I was going to do that before I was 30, right? Because that's what you want to do, or that's what I wanted to do, right? I wanted to get there fast and early and just like slay this career thing. And as we know, as we get older, the line is never straight. And a million things happen along the way.
Yeah.
And I actually never thought I would be an entrepreneur, David. When I graduated college, like I was going to go into corporate because that's what I knew. I don't have anyone in my family, right, like close network that was an entrepreneur. So it didn't even dawn on me. Yeah. So the concept of owning my own business didn't even come around until I was 30 or so. Yeah. And I was living in LA with a lot of people hustling, right? And I thought they were fucking insane. That is so risky. Why would you do that, right? I was working for Deloitte Consulting. I had healthcare, I had benefits, I had 401k matching, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm living the scary life, frankly, right? That is entrepreneurship, but I wouldn't have it any other way as far as age. Because like you're saying, when you start later, you have actually experienced things, you understand the market that you're addressing. Like you talked about, people like see a couple of podcasts and they think, oh, I can do that. Right. Sure, absolutely. If you can, go ahead. If you're in your 20s and you go for it. I would never tell people to wait. But the benefit of doing this later is the maturity, the emotional maturity to be able to withstand the really, really hard times, right? I mean, David, I'm sure you've never struggled in your...
No, cakewalk for 20 plus years. Yeah, super easy.
Right? No problem. Start your own business. You're in charge of legal, finance, HR, right? Oh yeah. And the thing that your company is supposed to be doing, that too. You have a million things. And
yeah,
you have to be able, no matter your age, if you want to do this entrepreneur thing, to be able to love every minute of the journey, even the really hard parts. And for me, looking back at my younger self, no way would I have been prepared to do that. So I really, and I was motivated by media, like 50 over 50. Like I kept seeing stories about these women starting businesses 50, 60, 70, 80. And thank God, David, because otherwise I really would felt like I was a failure because I hadn't hit the C-suite by 30. What was I going to do? And I'd been laid off. But yeah, I felt like there's only time. There is so much time. There is so much runway. And I have 3 kids. Like, let's be honest, right? It's like you cannot have it all. You cannot have it all at the same time. You have to pick certain things that you want to focus on. I want to focus on my kids and I want to be super successful in business. I'm not ashamed of that. I want to do both, right?
For sure.
Other stuff has to go to the wayside, but like those 2 things are really important.
Is there really, by the way, is there a 50 over 50? Is that a thing?
Yes.
Really?
So yes, Mika Brzezinski, who is also a television host on Morning Joe,
Sure.
right? She started a whole program called 50 over 50 and Know Your Value. If Mika's listening, I'd love to meet her. Come on my podcast. Honestly, it is it really, really inspired me and made me feel she brings real stories, right? Not celebrities. Like, yeah, of course, if you're a celebrity, you can create a great business at 60, right? But what about those of us that have 0 capital, 0 savings, 0 network? Those are the stories that I needed to see to know that I could do it too.
Wow, that is so, so cool. I'm curious. Hey now, what a great episode, right? Are you ready to build your own market eminence game plan using the power of speaking, publishing, and podcasting? Book a chat with me to build your plan and see if and how I might help you further. The link is doitmarketing.com/call. No sales team, no pressure, no goofballs, just you and me having a CEO to CEO chat about what's possible for you and your company. Hop on with me, doitmarketing.com/call. And now, let's jump right back into the interview. We talked a little bit before we turned on the mics about being in the weeds of your business, that you don't know necessarily all the nuts and bolts and details of all the up-to-the-minute stuff that your team is doing, as you should not. What was the transition from doer to CEO, and how were you able to let go, both in the from copywriter to copywriting agency owner, and now, of course, with Creo Collective, from, probably creative director, having your hands in a lot of pies, to truly elevating yourself out of the day-to-day to more of the CEO role?
Can I be honest?
You can.
It helps to always have wanted to be a CEO. So I'm not going to lie, David, I was not put on this earth to be a doer. I'm not going to be having, I don't mean that in like an ego way, but I mean like, I am not going to have the impact that I want on people. Like that is why what we were talking about is that B2B marketing, like the actual trade of B2B marketing, is not what fires me up every day. I'm not like, oh yes, I can't wait to tackle SEO today.
Right.
But some people fucking love SEO and that's what they do all day. And I love them and they work with me. They work with me because I hire the best people that know exactly what our clients need, right? But what I view my role as is how can I, at the beginning, it was me, like you said, as a writer, I have insanely high expectations. I have insanely high expectations for myself.
Yeah.
So when I was a B2B copywriter, I was an incredible B2B copywriter. You cannot get ahead if you are not actually good at what you do. So I'm not saying fake it, right?
Right.
And the only way that I can run my business well now is because when I'm working with my team members that are doing the work, I've been there and I've done it too. So I can actually advocate for them. I can actually understand what they need with clients and really be, like I said, an advocate for my team members and for the clients. So it's so critical that you are a doer first. Like you got to work hard. So that's not what I mean, right? You got to do the work. But to your question, being a micromanager and being in the weeds is the way to fail. Like full stop. So there have been times when I needed to micromanage. That means that person is not a good fit because I want people to work with me that have it, can thrive, give them space, right? To grow and do and become whatever it is they want. to
Yeah.
be. So I think, David, to your question, it's mindset, right? I think it's mindset. You have to do the work, you have to pay your dues, but you really have to want to be the CEO and be
Yes.
sort of, yeah.
That is so great. Of course, when you said, I always wanted to be in the C suite by age 30, climb the corporate ladder. And then, of course, when you start your business, you are a CEO, but most CEOs start out as a seller slash doer, right? The seller doer model. It's like, I'm going to sell it. I'm going to create it. I'm going to deliver it. I'm going to quality check it. I am going to have, I'm the client interface. I'm the client liaison. I am the coffee person. I am reordering copy paper for the laser printer. I am doing everything. So it sounds like you elevated yourself into that CEO role as soon as humanly possible. Is that correct? That you hired or delegated or outsourced, way early or earlier than most would, and you were never married to the doing.
100%. And this is why. In my years in corporate, right? I watched and experienced the managers, right?
Yeah.
And organizations led by micromanagers. And it's not successful. And now I will tell you, David, if anyone is listening right now and they are a founder CEO and they think they know the way to like market their business and they also know how to sell it and they also know what the copy should look like, those are the clients that fail. Those organizations literally cannot be successful because as human beings, there's limited time, energy, right? We cannot do everything well. So to your question, when I started as a B2B copywriter, from the very beginning, I was thinking about how do I set this up so I can scale it? Whether that's me working for myself and creating residual revenue, right? So that you're making money while you sleep. There are only so many hours in the day. I see this so much when people ask me about like starting their own business and what should I do? And they have great ideas, but you can't scale it.
Yeah.
So you might be really good at something. You could charge $1,000 an hour, but there are a limited number of hours in a day.
Yeah.
So from the very beginning, I have always had the mindset of what can I take off my plate affordably, right?
Yeah.
That will free me up to do more selling and growing and bringing our services to more potential clients.
Well, let's actually take a very quick detour because I would love to find out. We talked about AI and, let's outsource all of our marketing to AI, which is, I agree with you, a horrendous idea. What are all the menu of services that you and the team do at Creo Collective? What are the various specialty areas or practice areas?
Sure. It's like I mentioned, we focus exclusively on B2B tech companies, which is helpful. And really, I would tell anyone, right, if you're thinking about starting a marketing agency or you're listening and you're looking for a marketing agency, you really want to find one that has a niche and really knows your industry inside and out. That saves the client a ton of time, right? Who has time to onboard and educate, et cetera. So when we say full service, what I mean by that is from strategy to execution. So we always think about the marketing people that are in the trenches. What is it that they need? How can we help marketers be more successful? And the lens we take with that is specifically how do you create more success for sales and for the organization? So not like doing marketing for marketing's sake, I always say, right? But we really focus on our clients, asking them what it is that they need to achieve as individuals. We want them to get promoted. What is it that your organization is trying to achieve? Because you're going to be a rock star and get promoted, the faster you can contribute to that organization's growth. And really importantly, what does sales need to achieve and what does sales need to be successful? Because the better aligned sales and marketing are, the more successful the organization. And that's often such a tension point where they argue with each other. And that's why, again, getting back to like starting your business later in life, I carried a quota before I started this business. Before, I was in marketing, and I also, used to talk about the salespeople. Oh, what great ideas do the salespeople have today? That doesn't make any sense, right? They call you up, they need this or that. And then I carried a quota. And that was an incredibly amazing experience, because then I understood truly what and how marketing helps salespeople and how to be a better client to marketing as a salesperson. So, sorry, to answer your question, what we do is strategy, creative services, so like design, video, all of that great stuff, branding, identity. And marketing ops is the newest area that we expanded into, because we talk about AI, let's talk about all the tools out there, all the software that powers marketing. I mean, who can keep up, right? There's like another software platform. Every time you're on LinkedIn, somebody else is hawking some platform that is going to solve all your marketing needs. And so many of our clients were coming to us, or while we're working with them, saying, we're so like, we don't know. Should we purchase that license? Or, hey, we've got all these great campaigns, but like we're really struggling getting them out. So we built a team that can help either set up and like audit basically your marketing, your tech stack, right? Simplify all that great stuff. And then actually like execute campaigns and do the day-to-day. And that is really what led me to build a team in the Philippines. So AI, and I know in episodes past, I've listened to you talk about B2B marketing, and that's come up as well, right? Like if you don't offshore in some way, I don't think you can compete and continue to grow your business right now. It's just the price, it's like all the
price differential, or the
budgets are really tight, right?
Budgets are really tight.
I mean, I have a question, David, for your audience. If anybody is listening and they've had a client say, we have no limit on our budget, like I want to know who that client is, right?
Spend as much as you want.
Day, the client, the budgets are getting smaller. The ROI needs to be higher. So I do think it's incredibly important to have resources, locally and also offshore, and leverage AI, but in a, sort of ethical, transparent way.
Well, I want to talk about your clients' questions about AI.
Sure.
So mostly, am I right that your economic buyer is either the CMO or the CEO, or who's your economic buyer most of the time?
Most of the time, the CMO or the, VP of marketing.
Okay.
Director of marketing.
So let's say it's a new relationship, right? They're coming to you, and they're of course inundated by all the AI craziness that we all are. What questions or fears or doubts or concerns? For example, are they hoping that you use AI and that you're an AI savvy partner? Are they hoping that you kind of poo-poo AI and say, oh no, we use it a little bit just for efficiency or streamlining or ideation, but it's 80% human, 20% AI. What are their questions, and what are they hoping the answers are?
It's a good question. So what we're seeing is some organizations are licensing these AI-enabled tools, and I'm cool with that. Honestly, David, I'm like, what would be great? Let's make sure you're getting ROI out of that license, and we will leverage that license that you own, right? Yeah. So that we're actually in their AI system, using our brains combined with, their software. That's one scenario. The second scenario is, I do know I have one client who is so AI bananas, loves it, that frankly, if you're not using AI, that would be a deal breaker for them. But that is not the norm. I would say the vast majority of marketing leaders today are trying to figure it out, just like we are. And I freaking love AI. Like I could not exist, David, anymore. I could not do my job, my life, any of it without using AI. So but I had fear at the beginning. So I'm actually quite amazed how many people still haven't really touched it, haven't really leveraged it, and don't really know what they even should be asking.
Yeah.
David, can I tell you a secret? I feel like a lot of marketing, and if you're out there and this makes you feel better, hopefully, a lot of marketing teams are still struggling with the same things we were struggling with in 2000 and 2010 and 2015. And that is, we are doing a lot of things, but we are not getting the results we need. Help. What are we not doing right? And so most often I find like the real value is that we can go in and look at what they're doing and say, hey, you're missing some opportunities here. Maybe trash this thing that you're spending a lot of time and energy on that's
Yeah.
not getting you ROI. And it's just like all these new technology developments are making us all really stressed out and crazy. And if you
Yeah.
sit around all day figuring out like, how do I leverage AI or what license should I buy? I think you're wasting a lot of time. Like you've got to just stay focused on who are you selling to? What are their needs? Like pretend it's 2000. I don't like, what?
That is fantastic advice. It reminds me of, if you want a new idea, read an old book.
Yeah.
Pretend it's 2000, folks. Back to basics, blocking and tackling. The fundamentals are the fundamentals with or without AI wizardry.
Right. And I'm saying this too from my own experience because now I am CMO of Creo. So, right, like after 3 years, it was time and I could actually make a little investment in our own marketing and, right,
Yeah.
take some of our own medicine. Or it's incredibly hard. So now I'm
Yeah.
making all these decisions just like our clients. And I keep saying to my team, I can't be a shitty client. Like, can't be that shitty client, right? But I get it. Like, honestly, it makes me more empathetic because you're like, why
Yeah.
aren't we getting the results we want? Maybe we should pivot. And it's like, no, like you said, look at the old book, consistency. Right?
Yeah.
Like know your customer, consistency, repetition.
One of the pages on your website talks about thought leadership and branding. And then I would add into that mix a little bit of differentiation and positioning. And you put all of that together and you get my favorite thing, which is market eminence. What do you see? Let's just maybe take each of those areas just separately for a quick second.
Sure.
Thought leadership, 2025, 2026, for B2B tech companies. What should the thought leadership blueprint or the thought leadership DNA look like for a B2B tech company?
It should look like who the person is first.
And that would be the founder, the CEO, or even just some of the senior team.
Yes. I'm sorry. Yes. So when I think about thought leadership for a B2B tech company, that is certainly leadership, right? It's no
Yes.
secret, I don't think anymore, that people want to buy from people.
Yes.
So excited, David. Finally, B2B, it's B2C. It's the same thing. Did you know we actually all happen to be consumers, right? Customers. So
Yeah.
I love that B2B is looking more like B2C every day right now. So when you think about thought leadership and market eminence as a B2B tech leader, think about who you listen, watch in your downtime. Why do you listen, watch, trust the people that you do? Right? That's because they are imparting some knowledge that you didn't have. Don't copy paste something from somewhere else like it's already out there. What is it that you know that other people don't, or you have a take on something? And and be comfortable not saying what everybody else is saying. Like you can challenge what everybody out there is saying.
Yeah.
And that can be risky. I think the other thing that scares a lot of founders and CEOs is like, well, if I fuck this up, it's going to hurt my company. So I don't want to say anything wrong. So I'm just not going to do anything. That is where the expertise is needed. That's why there's so much value in an agency or a contractor, whoever that is. But have somebody who can advise you if you're if you're a leader at a tech company on, what to do. Like you need to have your person. My friend Rachel Downey is mine, who says, don't go too far, Gayle, because you'll look unhinged. But on the other hand, right, that's my challenge, David. I'm like, I'm out there. I will tell you whatever you want to know. And maybe pull it back, right? But more often than not on the tech side, we see, leaders who are they're just scared and they don't know what to say. And if it's,
I have this conversation multiple times a week. People are afraid to stand out. They're afraid to swear. They're afraid to say what they really think. They're afraid to be contrarian. And I said, well, what are you afraid of? Well, people are not going to buy from us. Well, we're gonna turn away big client. IBM's not going to become a client. Usually people that say IBM's not going to become a client, they would never become a client anyway. But I say to them, so what do you think is more dangerous to you and your business and your revenue and your future? Blending in or standing out? What's more dangerous? Where's the bigger pothole? And they go, they think for a minute and they know the answer I want them to give. And then they kind of look at me and they ask, it's never an answer. It's always answering a question with a question. I said, what's the biggest danger? And they go, blending in? And I go, yeah, fucking right. It's blending in. But so we want to be different by being exactly the same as our competitors.
Right. That's going to go really well.
This is a strategy. Like when a CMO comes to you and says, Gayle, we're number 7 in our category. Everyone ignores us. We can't get enough leads, demos, sales, whatever. You look at them and all you see is plain vanilla website, plain vanilla social, plain vanilla everything. And then you have this conversation around differentiation. What are the roadblocks and obstacles where people, they just want to cling to vanilla? And I'm genuinely curious, why the hell is that?
They're scared.
Because that's the complaint, right? The complaint is we look like all our competitors. Well, so look different. No, we feel better looking like all our competitors.
Yeah, 100%. People are scared. Because again, I go back to we're all humans, right?
Yeah.
So it's like here we are telling everybody to have market eminence and be a thought leader. Imagine all those people at a party. Shit, nobody would shut up and then everybody would be a contrarian and then, right? I mean, that
fist fights would break out.
Yeah. So I think there just is, right? A percentage of people, organizations that they're just not going to get there, David, also, right? But to answer your question, a lot of what happens, I think, number one, definitely fear by the top leadership. Just personally, they're just very scared to get out there for whatever reason. But also because when you take things through a lot of reviews, everything gets watered down.
Yeah.
And again, I'm speaking from my personal experience, so I promise I'm not pontificating about something. I'll write something, and as you see, I'm pretty raw and real, and then the team looks at it and reviews it, all in good, no malintention, and it just ends up being vanilla. So again, it is that risk. You have to just risk not having everything approved 18 ways. And if you're in an organization where you need fucking legal approval to post, I mean, forget it. I don't think you can do it, David. That's my take.
Wait. We're not just going to listen to this episode. There are downloads, there are resources, there are links, there are bonuses waiting for you on this episode's page when you go over to doitmarketing.com/podcast. That's right, doitmarketing.com/podcast. Grab the notes right under this episode. See you over there. It's funny. 20 years ago, maybe even more than 20 years ago, Seth Godin talked about risky is safe and safe is risky. That might have been in Purple Cow. It might have been in the Purple Cow book. But when you look at that series of words, safe is risky and risky is safe, right? Taking a risk, standing out, blue ocean strategy. Millions of books have been written about this and countless blogs and LinkedIn articles. And people still are so risk averse. Now, it's obviously worse in certain industries. Thank God you and I don't work with banks, right? Because banks would be horrendous. They're super conservative, super risk averse. But B2B tech, wouldn't you think they're a little bit more appetite for even edgy or maybe even back off edgy? Let's just call it fun. Have a little more fun with your prospects. Have a little bit more fun with your marketplace. Do you encourage them sort of in that direction to be more edgy and be more fun?
100%. I would underline that 16 times, right? Those are the companies that win. We spoke a bunch of times about the companies that struggle and why. The companies that are humor first, people first, but actually not fucking pretending, People first, humor first, tell stories, are the companies and the people that cut through 100%. We have a client, a Creo Collective, that is a huge, not IBM, right? But another company that starts with a B and competes with them.
Yeah.
Which you would never think of as fun and edgy, right? Chip manufacturer, mainframe, software, right? And we are doing such fun campaigns with them and bringing humor to their audience and it's so exciting to be able to do that because you know what? Even if the buyer is a developer, you don't think that developer has a sense of humor, right?
Right.
No matter, it doesn't matter if you're selling, DevOps or AI ops or fill in the blank, right? What's the most technical thing we could come up with? Kubernetes? I don't know. Come up with something. That buyer has a sense of humor. That buyer has a family. That buyer wants to feel connected to you and your brand.
Absolutely. I could not agree more. Well, as we're landing the plane, I've got two final questions for you.
Okay.
The final question will be, how can people get connected and stay connected to more Gayle Kalvert brilliance? But before we get there, if folks were to take one overarching idea from our conversation today about all things marketing, business growth, B2B tech landscape for the next 6 to 12 months, whatever it might be, what do you hope that one big takeaway for them should be?
David, that is a hard question.
I know.
You
could be
gave
words
me,
of
like,
wisdom, could be a fortune cookie, bumper sticker, inner reminder to put on their foreheads. It's all fair game.
The first thing that popped into my mind, truly, because it relates to everything we've talked about, is do it scared. Every single thing that you and I have talked about, whether it's starting a company, being a thought leader, do it scared. Nothing good comes out of being safe.
Oh, so good.
Oh, thank God, David. You asked that question. I almost had a panic attack, and I don't have panic attacks.
You almost plotzed right there in your office. I heard this plotzing sound about to come out of the microphone, but
sweating.
Beautiful save. Amazing save. Good job. Good job.
Thank you. It's the New Yorker in me. I got to find something. But no, truly, I'm scared every single day, David. Every single day, I am scared of what I am responsible for, including the 3 humans who are my children. How did I become a mother? How did I become responsible for 3 humans? That's pretty scary. So just go for it.
Who are these 3 little people who keep calling me mom?
Yeah, right?
How did that happen?
Supposed to keep them alive and everything? It's insane. It's insane.
Keeping them alive, that's 80% of the game, I think. Okay. Anything above that is like bonus.
All right, I'm doing great then. Thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate you, David. They're alive.
Well, where can people go to get connected and stay connected to more Gayle Kalvert brilliance? What links can we put in the show notes, websites, podcasts, whatever you want to share, as many as you want?
Oh my gosh. Okay, no, I'll keep it very simple.
Okay.
GayleKalvert.com.
And Gayle with a Y and Kalvert with a K.
Correct. Thank you. Everybody messes those up. Yes.
And the link, by the way, so you don't need to really spell Gayle's name, because the link's going to be right below this episode in the show notes at thesellingshow.com.
Amazing.
Well, Gayle Kalvert, I can't wait for the publication of Layoff to Blast Off.
I love this.
And all your other books that you're going to write. It's going to be fantastic. And my next book, you also gave me the idea for my next book. It's not going to be do it marketing. It's not going to be do it selling. I like do it scared.
But what if I want that title, David?
Well, then we'll have to co-author it. We'll have to write it together.
Okay, perfect. I love it.
Such a pleasure to have you on. And we got to have you back because we really just scratched the surface of the awesomeness that we can talk about. So get ready for part 2, people, coming soon.
I would love that. Tell me what you want to know because, I don't know. I'm making it up as I go, David.
We will do it scared. We will do it scared. And that wraps up another episode of The Selling Show. Hey, tell you what, if you like us, rate us and review us on Apple Podcasts, subscribe, tell a friend, go grab the notes and downloads and extras at thesellingshow.com. See you next time.